Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Shai, what was it that kept opening up for Hart tonight? It seemed like you guys were able to manufacture so many great looks for him.
Yeah, he was just he made a few really nice plays individually, and then he just did what he did every night at a very high level, and I think the ball and the energy like rewarded him. He was open on a lot of rolls and lobs and stuff like that. He just was really good. He does a really good job of like doing the little things to like help get other people open, and then the defense overreacts, and all of a sudden he's open. And he understands that at a really high level, and that's why he had 100 dunks tonight.
Seemed like a kind of a story that we've seen from you all before, which is, a team might be hot shooting the three to start, but you guys don't overreact to it. What's kind of what have you learned about those types of situations that helped you again tonight?
It's a long game. Teams go on runs. Then the way the game is played now, like there's so many possessions, so many back and forth. Teams are shooting a bunch of threes. Like the league can go from 20 to 14 in 2 plays. And it's like there's so much time left. So yeah, we don't overreact. Whether we didn't do a pretty good job of it the other night when we were up big and try to keep a lead, but yeah, there's so much game left, and you try to get you're obviously doing something wrong if you're down or a team's hot or a team's comfortable, and you just try to course correct it as fast as possible. No, we did so tonight.
Obviously, looking at Hartenstein's, stats, they jump off the page. But what does he maybe do that doesn't show up on the stat sheet?
Yeah, kind of what I said before. Like he does a really good job of like screening is one. He gets me open almost feels like every time he screens. And then the defense has to like overreact to me because I'm open, or I'm just open and I shoot, which happens a lot of the time too. But yeah, he makes it easier, the game easier for so many guys around him, that the game pays him back for sure.
You had 15 points in the third quarter specifically. I think that's like
He did?
You did.
Oh.
Which I think throughout this season, you scored most of your points more than any other quarter in the third. Just what goes into that process of, course correction during the half for you?
I don't know. I think I'm just warmer. I probably should do a better job of getting warm before the game if that's the case. But yeah, I usually I just feel like I'm warm, I'm ready to go. It's also a little bit like I also like naturally I'm a little bit more assertive, just because it's like the last half of basketball we have to play if we want to win, whether we're up or down. But yeah, I also get like 24 minutes of like feeling out the coverages and the defense and how the game's being called and things like that. So the first half is kind of like a feel out process.
Shai, we've seen so many different guys step up just even over the course of these first 10 games, whether it's Hart tonight, Mitchell, you got Aaron as well, just so many different guys. Can you just speak to the depth of this team and just how valuable that's been for you guys to start this season?
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive. We've had a lot of guys out, a lot of rotation guys that play big minutes for us. But I always say, like, we're a team of 14, 15 guys. Like, across the roster, we have guys that are ready to play, versatile, can play any position, and play to our identity. And that's why it almost feels seamless when guys are out, because we can just go out there and play the same way. Guys know how to play with each other and play the right way ultimately. So it's pretty easy.
Shai, good to see you.
How you doing?
Big picture question for you. Whenever a team, gets to the mountaintop, the psyche shifts, right? Like last year when you were here, you talked about learning from previous playoff disappointments and even international stuff, and all of a sudden you've done it. How much time in the summer, if any, did you spend thinking about how are we going to attack defending? How am I going to lead in terms of, doing this thing again and not being complacent? How did you see that challenge?
Yeah, honestly speaking, I didn't like the way we won, if that makes sense. Like I didn't think we won. I didn't think we won an NBA championship playing our best basketball. And that was the first time we been that far in the playoffs, so it was a learning experience for us. But it takes another level of focus, discipline, assertiveness, aggression to like be who we were in the regular season, and do that throughout the postseason. Like I think we were definitely more dominant in the regular season than the postseason. So yeah, that was the biggest thing for me, and me as well as a player. I don't think I was as good in the postseason as I was in the regular season. Now it naturally happens when you play a team 7 times in a row and they get the scout 7 times in a row. But I feel like I could have been better, so I try to control that. And then that mentality just like trickles over, I guess, to the team stuff.
To that point, you've talked a lot about being really curious about how good you can be.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear the way you look back on the finals that you're going to learn from that and be motivated by that. How close to the ceiling do you feel like you are? I mean, how much growth do we have here?
I would say pretty far away. There's just like so many areas of basketball, I feel like, especially at my position, like having the ball as much as I do. There's so many ways to, like, obviously I'm a point guard, so I'm the point of attack offensively. There's playing without the ball. There's different levels of scoring. There's the complete other side of the ball. There's scoring in transition. There's just so many sides and parts to the game that the greatest players have like mastered. There's like, I've heard coaches talk about like playing against Rondo, and it's almost like you're playing against a coach on the floor, and like he knows all your plays and he knows what you're gonna do next and things like that. Like there's just so many angles and ways that you can like give yourself and your team an edge to win a basketball possession, a quarter, and then ultimately a game. So until I kind of get my grips on all of those, which will be probably a pretty long time, yeah, I say pretty far away.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I do have.
There we go, last one.
Yeah, it's definitely the last one. Maybe you can explain it better, but it seems like, you want to go back on this journey to correct some of them things that you did, getting back there. Is that basically what you're talking about? Because you said you didn't like the way y'all played this thing because you didn't show your identity. Is that part of this journey, trying to get back there?
Yeah, for sure. Like I just felt like we could be better. We could have been better. Now, obviously, we were good enough. But I always go back to like being good enough is never what I picked up a basketball for. Like I never wanted just to be good enough to make the AAU team or just to make the college team, just to get a scholarship. Like I wanted to be great. And that mentality carries over no matter the stage.
Thank you, Shai.
I don't know.
Thanks, guys.